Happy Saturday, YouTube family. How is everything going? So, I'll wait for more people to come in, but I want to, talk about something that's been bothering me, because it is, and, oh, you know, therapists, especially ones that don't belong to me. Hi, Manny and Bree. Welcome to the live. Welcome. So happy to have you here. Let's see. Oh, I'm a little cold, so I'll let the dog lay on my lap so I don't, so she can warm me up. And of course, I'll throw a little blanket on top because it's Saturday and I'm being lazy. There we go. Hey, Harold. Good to see you. Welcome. So, okay. Oops. Just put a little blanket on because I'm cold. That's the joys of weight loss surgeries, that you get cold. I'm doing well today, Harold. How are you? So, I guess we'll dive into this in a few minutes. Hey, thanks, Jamie. I washed my hair and shaved my legs too because I don't like doing that. Oof. But I gotta wear a dress tomorrow for Isabel and Jacob's thing. Oh, hi, Amy Cat. Oh, you're just getting up? Oh, that's awesome. That must be a nice feeling to just get up. You know, yeah. I didn't want to do it, but I had to because, gotta wear that dress tomorrow. My hair's a little fluffy today, huh? But it's amazing because I don't really care to do it. Even in the summertime, I sometimes don't care so much. I don't have a man, so I don't have to worry about those kinds of things, or at least I don't think I have to worry about those kinds of things. But, I guess that leads me into the conversation of the day. Hey, just went. Yeah, it's a little fluffy today, but it's not bad. I didn't color it, but since they're coming Tuesday to do inspections, I don't want to get black hair dye all over the tub or anything. Hey, into the bush. Good afternoon. So I was really bothered. I didn't want to get into it yesterday because the kids were home, and I didn't want to hey Dan, hey Kitty, happy Saturday. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I was just like really bothered by it. It's still bothering me like 2 days after the fact. And these are all mine. I don't do anything to them. I don't do anything to my brows. They just as is. Hey Frostwolf Studios. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized something. Hold on one second. I forgot I could do something. I forgot I could do that. There we go. All right. Yeah. Oh, you feel awful today. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Well, I guess that's the joys of me having agoraphobia, is that I don't have to deal with allergies. I don't go out much. Although not this Tuesday, the next Tuesday, my housing. I'm doing quite well, Frostwolf Studios. How are you? My housing, aka landlord, because I live in a program for handicapped people, but I'm not in a group home. I have my own apartment, which I pay a lot of money for. It just, because landlords don't want to rent to people who have issues, which, okay, good for them. But my landlord's offering me a field trip to the Tanger outlets, not this Saturday, the following Saturday. So I am going to take that, and I guess I will do my first ever vlog slash haul video, because they have the Christmas tree store, and I love the Christmas tree store. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. I get to see some of the people that were from my old building. I lost my apartment in another town 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. That building was, hella drama, and I don't mind it much, but I do miss the people who live there, so I could catch them on this field trip. So it's really just basically a free ride, but that's cool. They had the Christmas tree store, and yeah, Dan, the one in Deer Park. Yep, the Deer Park outlets. Um, well, I live here by myself with my 2 kids, but yeah, they're just not here today because I was being nice, and I let their dad have a little extra time because it was a family member's birthday party today, and I try to be as nice as possible. I do have the dog, but she's like sleeping. Yeah, the Christmas tree store. I like that store. And after, I was gonna go to hi, Ravioli Cat, the Ravioli Cat. Yep, I got you into the bush. No worries. I understand. I've been through it too. I've been through custody and uh I tell you, my kids are what? My daughter's 11 and my son is 9, and I have spent over $25,000 in lawyer's fees. Um Yeah, $25,000 in lawyer's fees. I've lost my right to go to college, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I totally understand. Here on Long Island, or at least my part, they're very big into fathers' rights, which, okay, that's great. But if a father doesn't really deserve the rights, then we got problems. But that's kind of like how it is. I actually had there was a time in my life, like I've said in many times in the past, that I'm a domestic violence survivor. My kid's dad was verbally and physically abusive towards me. Thankfully, not so much anymore. And even after I left, he was, finding other ways to abuse me, hence the court system and child protective services and a whole bunch of other things. Ah. Well, good luck to you on that. I've been there. I've been there. 11 years of court. 10, 11 years of court and legal fees and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so my kid's dad, yeah, I'm happy I survived it too. And I'm actually I'm doing a lot better with it. But it's been a very long road. It's kind of, I am in New York. Oh, 2 years in the court. Yeah, See, I always thought like other states were better with it than we are here in New York, but I guess it is what it is. Ah, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, Dan. I'm gonna go over there. I want to go to Christmas tree store and Hot Topic. Yes, I'm 33 and I still shop at Hot Topic, so don't judge. They have the best T-shirts and stuff in there. That's exactly it. Exactly. The courts are a big money-making business. I still love Hot Topic. They have a, I didn't know their makeup line was, well, I don't own a car. I don't drive. I have severe, PTSD, so, I mean, in my neck of the woods, everybody has cars except for me. But, yeah, New York City, you don't need cars. On Long Island, you do. Ooh, yeah. Hey, Koala Cuisine. Yes, exactly. And you know what? I didn't realize that their makeup was so cool, too. I saw online. I don't know if they're going to have it in the store, but fingers crossed they do. Oh, wow. See, well, I do order them from them online if I don't go. Because of the Ebates. I get what? It's 4% back. If you do a lot of shopping online, that Ebates is awesome. I do it often. I get a lot of money back. Was it after Christmas? I got like $65 back on Ebates. Well, a lot of that was because I use Uber and Lyft. I don't drive, and Uber and Lyft is, yeah, I love Ebates. I didn't know this because I've never gotten the Pop Sugar box, but I plan on ordering that. But Pop Sugar gives you $5 back on Ebates. And if I could find myself one of those $20 off coupons, like, yay. I like pop sugar. I worked for Kohl's over Christmas time. And, oh, you do? All right, kitty. I'm gonna have to borrow your coupon then. I definitely want to get the pop sugar box. I'm starting to realize that these, yeah, Ebates is awesome. I like Ebates. I use it. I get, if you do DoorDash, you get, I think 6% back on DoorDash. DoorDash is a big one. Lyft is a big one. eBay, you get money back on eBay. Etsy, not so much anymore. So there's some good companies out there that I do buy a lot from. Oh, Postmates. I haven't tried that one. But Uber Eats is big for me. I actually do a lot of, hey, K-pop Alpha. Oh, no. Well, hopefully there's some people in here who could help you out, K-pop Alpha. Yeah. Yes. Kitty, you could share your coupon with us. We'll definitely use it. Yeah. I did film my Globe and Box, which I was superly overly what a disappointment. It's been a disappointing week. Ibotta. I haven't tried that. I also do my groceries, but I don't get any Ebates off of that. I do oh, one away. You may very well do very well here, K-pop Alpha. You know, there's at least one person who could help you. Yeah, next week will be a better one. Absolutely. Next week's better. It's pay week, so how could you go wrong with pay week? Although I'm going to hold my money over to go to the outlets and do my vlog to do that. So yeah, so I was going to talk about this, but I didn't want to do it yesterday because I wasn't going to go. Hi, Andrew Dennis. Welcome. And thank you for helping. I actually wasn't going to talk about this yesterday. I actually wasn't going to go live yesterday, but somebody had made me very angry, and I just, hey, the Boss Life Online, nice to see you. Always a pleasure. I was just so angry with what somebody did to somebody else yesterday, and I felt like I just had to vent on that. So, you know, that's something I'm really, really bad at, is like when I know something's bothering me, I will hold it in and, you know, put everybody else before me. So that's, but I also wasn't planning on discussing this yesterday, just simply because the kids were going to be home and I didn't want to like talk about it in front of them because this issue was already brought to one of my kids' attention, not by choice. But so yeah, so Thursday, my daughter, she's 11 and she's been through a lot. She's witnessed the domestic violence portion of my life. And so on and so forth. I have to go back and get that, kitty. Yep. I definitely want to get that box on this week. I'm starting to see the quarterlies are more worth my while. You tend to get better stuff, and you do make your money back somewhere along the line. Yeah. Jacob, I don't know if he's really seen anything, but I mean, he's been unfortunately the victim of, you know, the kid's dad calling Child Protective Services a lot. So, so she's kind of like, you know, Isabel's pretty good at hiding. Yeah, I think the quarterlies are better, Jamie. I mean, I'm really disappointed with Globin for sure. That was just... I hope they could work with me on that little finger bowl because I use those, because I can only eat what that bowl is perfect size for me. And we did get those really nice sized bowls in the, was that the winter editor's box of FabFitFun? But yeah, so Isabel, we just got her, we found her new, it's an in-home therapy program. So the therapist comes to her house, which is really great. I think that's a really great thing to do. Look, the sun is really shining today. It wasn't supposed to be nice out at all, which kind of stinks because I wanted to walk to the library, but I didn't do it, but that's okay. Hey, Shadimes ASMR. Welcome. Good to see you. Definitely seeing a lot of new channels in here, so everybody make friends. So this new therapist, she seems really nice, but she seems a little, like, nosy. I don't like that. She's not my therapist, but I do have one. as we all know, because I do my taxi cab lives, although I did forget to order my cab this week, so I don't think I'll be able to do that Tuesday as planned, but there's always Friday. As long as the woman upstairs is in my cab and calling me a MFer because her cab was late, like the last time. So this little therapist came here, and one thing this woman asked about was how I afford to take care of, this house, as in paying my rent. Yeah, she seems like a nice lady, but it is convenient to come into the house. For some reason, we just can't get the medical cab for Isabel and Jacob, but it is what it is, and fine. They are very, they're just very, I don't know. It's one of those things about the medical cab. But anyways, so she asked me how I afford to buy my stuff, like, because I buy my subscription boxes or the occasional Jeffrey Lippy or whatever else. Like, why does that matter to you? You're supposed to be Isabel's therapist. I mean, we take care of what we take care of here. Yeah, exactly. She was very nosy, and I don't appreciate it. Listen, I do overdraft my account every so often. I'm not going to lie, but I do it because I do. And, but I do make the money back. I do fix my account by doing my reselling. So, whatever I do with my financial, stuff, my bills are paid originally. Yep, I do. I get child support once a week, thankfully. And I get my groceries once a week or once every other week, and I make sure, there's plenty of food here, and so on and so forth. But that's none of anybody's business. I don't get food stamps or anything like that, so, but I make sure, everyone is taken care of here. So she really had no right to ask that. But whatever, she's not my mother, and my mother does, take care of that often enough. But the other question, which I didn't appreciate, and it was bothering me, it's been bothering me for the last 2 days. She asked my daughter, who's only 11, how she feels about me dating. But I'm not dating, and I didn't even give her the idea that I was dating anybody. I'm 33, I guess, and I've lost a lot of weight, and a lot of people have said to me, oh, when you lose all the, yeah, I know, strange question, indeed. I mean, I'm 33. I guess that's part of it, but I don't know. Yeah, kind of inappropriate for sure. I mean, she's 11. I don't think Isabel really understands that idea. And the thing is, if I were to find somebody and I were dating somebody, hey, reap what you sow, Lejeune. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I mean, my kid's dad, yeah, she doesn't need to worry about that. And listen, if I were to date somebody, I wouldn't bring them home right away because you don't know who you're bringing home. But the thing is, I'm not dating anybody. And, if I were, it's like, hey, noob gamer, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the live. But that's just like ridiculous. I mean, she's 11. I mean, I did date somebody when she was younger. That was the person that was hired as a hitman. I don't appreciate it, that she asked that. Isabel was only like 3 or 4 when that guy was in my life. So I don't think she really remembers him or, cares to remember him and this, and that. But yeah, that's totally inappropriate. However, I mean, it's not bothering me at the fact that, well, it is bothering me that it was an inappropriate question. But it does bother me because, like, yeah, she shouldn't have asked that because my daughter's 11 and I'm not dating anybody. I mean, my kid's grandma, she's a little weird. Yeah. I'll get into that while we're here, because why not? Because that equals this conversation. But yeah, but it's just, I've been single for 10 years now. I don't count that person, the person who was hired as a hitman, I don't count that as a relationship because it's just really not. But I will talk about that in a little bit. I don't count that as a relationship because there's a lot going on there. Whatever. But yeah, I haven't been in a relationship for a really long time. And hi, Shanoop Gapalan. Welcome to the live. So, it's kind of bothering me, but my kid's grandma's kind of weird. She said when I was going to lose all the weight, all these men were going to, like, looking at me and throwing themselves at me. I mean, that really hasn't happened, and I'm okay with that. Hey, Savage Poet, and I'm okay with that. I don't really care if, I don't really care. I mean, my response to this woman was, first of all, I'm not dating. Flirting with men on YouTube, okay, but that's not really dating anybody. Um, yeah, right, Amy Cat. And I'm just, I mean, it's not that I don't want to date. Well, I kind of don't. I kind of don't. I do and I don't. But like this woman's like making me, it kind of made me feel bad. I like went to bed like feeling really shitty about it. I know I just said a bad word, but I'm not monetized, so one bad word isn't going to get me anywhere, right? It just made me feel really bad. It felt really bad. It's like, why would you ask that? And gee, thanks for making me feel bad. I mean, the kid's grandma, she's an idiot. For, saying those things. I mean, I guess she realizes me and her son are totally done and never gonna be anything ever again. But at least, things are nice. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, that just made me feel bad. Like, for a while, for at least, 8 out of the last 10 years, it has bothered me to be single. But the last 2, I kind of don't care. Hey, Misty, I kind of don't care because I just decided that I wanted to take the bull by the horns and start working on myself and getting myself, doing what I want to do. Yeah. But I mean, I guess I guess the thought of being single is starting to bother me now, I guess because she mentioned it. I know people always ask me, well, how do you feel about like not having, intimacy or whatever you want to call it? I don't really care. Well, thank you, Reap. That's awesome. I'm happy you were here. You know what? I don't miss what I never really had. My kid's dad was gay, and it wasn't that great. So, I guess I don't miss it because I never really had it. I guess that's the best answer to that question. But, I just said to this woman, listen, flirting with people on YouTube is one thing. I'm not dating anybody. I'm not sure if I really want to date anybody. I just want to work on myself. I was 21 when I met my kid's dad, and I had Isabel at 22. So, I've really, yeah, yeah, exactly. Right, exactly, Savage Poet. I'm not even looking for that, to be honest. I just been happy with myself for the last 2 years, at least. I mean, like I said, 8 out of 10 years has been bothering me. But, the last 2 years have been pretty good. I got the dog 2 years ago, this June. So I guess that's pretty much why it's been so good. It's because I have the dog. So, but it's like, right, yeah, Charlie Guy, or maybe I still think it could be Charlie himself, because dream big or don't bother dreaming at all. That's how I look at it. He's been with the same girl for, what, 11, 12, 13 years and didn't put a ring on it. He's still fair game in my books. um, right, exactly. Here's the other thing. When you mentioned the whole weight loss thing, although I have to say this. Yeah, I had the Sunnies. Exactly. Right, and that's a whole new thing, too. I never really had a lot of female friends growing up because they were all my bullies, but now I don't have bullies. But exactly. I'm about 100 pounds, a little over 100 pounds, less than I was a year ago. I've lost over 100 pounds, and I have to say this though. There's one thing that does bother me, is that like I rebooted my OkCupid a while ago just to see what was going on, see what's out there, and the same men. Oh, well, you're a survivor of that, Savage Poet. That's amazing. You're a strong fighter for sure. Um, but I mean, I had the weight loss surgery, and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you took the easy way out." No, I didn't take no easy way out. The weight loss surgery is a tool, and now somebody said today, "Well, I don't like it when you people call it a tool." Well, that's exactly what it is. Weight loss surgery is a tool. It's not a fix. It's not an easy way out. It's a tool. Wow. Yeah, that's where I'm worried, Savage Poet, is that I lost all the weight and I have to keep it off. But I have to figure out how to do that. That's my next thing. But the thing is with OkCupid, it's amazing. Now all the same men that didn't want to bother with me when I was overweight do want to bother with me now, but they don't want a relationship. They just want, you know, wham bam thank you ma'am, and I don't want no wham bam thank you ma'ams. I don't want it. Nope, I'm 33. I don't have time for that. No. No, no, no. Hey Doughboy, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Don't forget to smash the like, of course. But here's the thing. Okay, so my kid's dad. I met my kid's dad on Plenty of Fish when I was 21. I was a very sheltered person. My mom was not really into letting me go out and do things. I think that's where she, you know, feels bad now. When I was in high school, I just wanted to break free, and I think I talked about my online boyfriend. I had an online boyfriend that I met in an AOL chat room. We were two, I guess you'd call it together. I don't know. We were online together for 2 years. 5 years. 5 years. We talked for 5 years and never really got to meet. But, you know, he ended up liking 16-year-olds, and at that rate, I wasn't one anymore. So he moved on to a 16-year-old who he ended up knocking up, and you know, I think I don't know how things are going. He was from Pennsylvania, but that's, you know, I almost moved in with him, but it didn't work, so that's okay. So hi, Remy Moore. Ah, fellow Moore. You know, that's my last name, too. I'm a Moore, too. Kelly Moore. So, yeah, that's crazy. So, you know, then I found, you know, Plenty of Fish, and well, Plenty of Fish was the one back then. So I joined Plenty of Fish, who was, you know, which was free. Now they charge you, which I think is ridiculous. Well, no, it's still free. There's like, you know, a premium account. Please. Honey, please. You don't need no, hey, Debankan Mondell from India. Welcome to the live. Yeah. I guess in Pennsylvania, yeah, I don't like Plenty of Fish either. So I met my kid's dad when I was 21, and he was divorced or divorced. He was divorced when or working on his divorce when we had gotten together. His ex-wife left him for another person, so I was not the cause of that divorce. Exactly, Harold. Scranton? No, he was not from. I'm not from Pennsylvania. I'm from New York. But the person from Pennsylvania lived in a town called Apollo, Pennsylvania. But yeah, so I got with the kid's dad at 21. Yeah, no, exactly, Savage Poet. I guess, you know, I guess intimate meaning like, hey, Wonston, I did check out your link there, and I'm gonna start posting of that. I apologize. It's been a busy week because my kids were on vacation. Oh yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, Plenty of Fish, you know, I'm not saying Plenty of Fish is bad. I'm not saying it's good. It's just, you know, there are, you know, because it is free, you have to, you know, you have to watch yourself on there. Same thing with the ones you pay for. So, yeah, so I met my kid's dad on Plenty of Fish. It was... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Harold, I should start learning to do that myself, or meet someone from a friend. But so I met my kid's dad online. I think it was Christmas. It was just before Christmas. I know I talked about my friend who is in jail. No, I don't do Tinder. Ooh, I don't think so. Tinder is one of those like wham bam thank you ma'am sites, right? That's not really for like dating. I don't know. I tried Bumble a little while ago and I didn't like it. Um, but yeah, so mm. So yeah, so my friend who is doing, yeah. Hey, Skins fans all day. How are you? Good to see you. So so yeah, my friend who's doing 20 to life, I think we talked about this in another live, so I'm not going to rehash that whole story again. So he actually told me, when I showed my friend on, I think we were having Christmas. Oh, yes. We were having Christmas at our program, and he said, Kelly, I don't think you should do that. I'm doing good, Skins fan. How are you? Yeah, I've learned my lesson, Savage Poet, for sure. So my friend, he told me don't do that. I had a huge crush on my friend, but that just didn't work out, but that's okay. So, because he was dating a friend at the time and, so on and so forth. But yeah, so my friend, he told me don't do that, Kelly. You're going to be sorry. And, yeah, 3 months into that relationship, I got pregnant with Isabel, and yeah, don't get me wrong, I don't regret having children. I regret who I had children with, but my mom, like I said, she sheltered me and didn't want me to go out there and do things. And okay, see you later, Misty. So yeah, but I ended up moving in with him. September of 2007. 2007, moved in, like, 5, 6 months before Isabel was born. No, 4 months. Hey, Princess Bloom. And his mom did not want me to move in there. She got mad. She actually tried to take me to a oh. Oh, Jackknife is live? Oh, hold on a second. Let me, 1 second. Let me find my laptop. 1 second. I want to help Jackknife Finnegan out. Hold on, guys. He's a pretty cool dude, so I'm going to help. I'm just going to get on my laptop and make sure I share his live stream out to my community tab. So yeah, oops, okay. So yeah, my kid's dad, his mom didn't want me to move in with him. She doesn't believe in men, taking their role and getting people pregnant. So she actually went so far as to take me to the Department of Social Services and tell them I was homeless, and I couldn't live with her anymore. But when their dad found out that she did that, he got really mad. But she didn't realize that they were going to put me in a homeless shelter. Also, like, if you're not with your kid's dad, DSS will actually charge child support in that sense. So she really dodged a bullet in that sense. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me get his live, and I'm going to put that into my community tab so we don't, oops, hold on 1 second. So yeah, so 3 months, yeah, so his mom really wasn't very happy with me moving in. She was okay with, Isabel coming, but she was definitely not okay with me moving in, because my mom had a bigger house than her, and, so on and so forth. And, their kid's dad was cheating on me with another man, while this is, which was found out much later. Yeah, I'm gonna share this out. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna share this out for Jackknife Finnegan so he can have some more people. Yeah. Well, I found out about that part much later on, but hold on. I just want to help him out. Hold on. I'm also gonna give him a like too. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it gets more. Hi, Gretchen. Oh, glad you finally made it. So yeah, um, he had a friend. He also had this friend that always came over every day, every day, every day. Yep. Yeah. This. I'm writing a book though. I am gonna write a book on this. Because I want to help other people out there. I'm just curious. Oh, no dislikes today, huh? That's awesome. So yeah, so he had this friend that would come over every day, every day, every day, and that was bad. I had a feeling he was cheating on me with this guy too. Yeah, well, I've been writing it for years, so I actually have a fictional book that I've been writing too. So I just like to get on it. So I actually did share some of it. No, no, noob, I'm good. No, I'm good. Please don't give any of those. Oh, I already know who did it yesterday. I mean, The person who gave me a dislike with my kids in the live video, you can go step on a fire pit of Legos, biatch. I already know you who did it, so don't worry. She's... thanks, Noob Gamer. Oh, thank you. Such a pleasure. Hey, listen, you know what? If you get dislikes, you're famous, so good for me. I would lean towards that one or the other one. Hey, Kim. It's either QM or the seller. Don't care. They're both idiots anyway, so I really don't care. Good for them. You know, it's so sad they care so much about me to do that, but I wouldn't do it to them. It's one of those two, and I really don't care. You know what? But I have to say this. I just want to put this out there because I did speak to the person who received the box. And I just want to give a shout out to whoever sent her an email. I am so proud of this community stepping up and reaching out to her. And, yeah. I've only disliked a few myself, and it's usually Roseanne Barr because I don't like what she has to say, but, you know, whatever. But, hey, that's okay, Noob Gamer. You're in here with a bunch of pretty ladies. I do want to do another singles live tomorrow at 7, so if anybody wants to step in and do that, you can come on in at 7. Tomorrow's the Sunny's live crawl, so we'll do that. I just wanted to put it out there. Whoever reached out to the woman who received that box to show her love, that was absolutely amazing. I did myself. And, oh, no worries. Oh, you have a dinner date. That's awesome. Yeah. Like I said, my dislike has only gone to, like, Roseanne Barr or something like that. But I'd rather just unfollow somebody who has a message that I don't like. Simple. Oh, Ritz. Oh, at the Ritz. That's good. And if he's paying, even better. That's my deal. I'd be so much of a cheap date, though. I'd be a cheap date because I can't eat so much. I'm kind of worried about how that would work. You know, post-sleeve dating. Ah, there you go. Get your share out of this one, for sure. But yeah, so the kid's dad, he was cheating on me with men, right under my nose, too. He actually had me paying for it, too. I would be a fun date, just cheap in regards to, like, you know, buying food. But, you know, as long as he doesn't care about a doggy bag, I guess. Yeah, my kid's dad would say he needed money for gas. So I gave him money for gas, thinking that's what he was doing with it. And, there you go, kitty. Get yourself a good drink. But yeah, so yeah, so I would give him money for gas, and it turns out the money was going to the hotel room that he was taking this person to, because his mom is very invasive and would look at his bank statement and say, oh, well, he must be doing that. His mom must have known he was doing something at a hotel, and it wasn't with me, so, you know, but yeah, so, and after Isabel was born, he started getting really verbally and physically abusive. One time I put his pizza in the oven and the cheese was brown. Brown, not burnt. Brown. Yeah, his mom is a piece of work. I'm sure she was in on the hitman thing too, but she just won't, you know, announce that to the world. She might not be in on it financially, but she might know about it. Or she claims she doesn't. Whatever. But yeah, so yeah, he got verbally and physically abusive. It's like he didn't want me there. So, yeah. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there, Savage Poet. I'll tell you. There was one time that I browned, the cheese got browned in the oven. It was not burnt. You know, like, I guess like a, you know, a browned color, not burnt. The bottom was not burnt. If it was burnt, the bottom would be burnt too. But it wasn't. And, so yeah, so he actually punched me in the face for browning this pizza and ruining his meal. And his mom actually said, if you go to the cops, I'm going to tell them you hit him first. So, yeah. And actually, there was one time when I was pregnant with Isabel, he got angry because it was actually the day of the baby shower. The day of the baby shower, I wanted to watch a horror movie on the TV, and he got all angry and I got kicked in the leg. Yeah. Um, so yeah. So I ended up leaving. Oh, so and his mom was in on the abuse too. She was abusing me too. She was abusing me verbally. She had her good moments and her bad moments, but the only one that was really nice in that house was my kid's brother, my kid's dad's brother. Yeah. Oh, well, sorry to hear that, Harold. Um, so yeah, so he did that. His mom was verbally abusive. It got to the point where I felt like I needed to do something. Yes, yes, yes. The kid, yeah. Here in New York, things are different now. Things aren't like it was back then. Things are better now. We just weren't meant to be together. And unfortunately, like I said earlier in this video, men have rights here in New York. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a domestic violence advocate from Vibes. That's an organization here on New York. I had a domestic violence advocate, and she had a client whose daughter was molested by her own father, and neither the child nor the father wanted a relationship with each other, but the judge said they needed to have therapeutic visitation. So that's how things are here. Aw, thanks, Harold. I appreciate that. So that's how things are here in New York. So they do, yeah, right, exactly. So here in my part of Long Island, they are very big in, you know, fathers' rights, and so they'll do those kinds of things. And you know, when I was we'll get to that other stuff later, but so yeah, so the kid's grandma was verbally abusive. It came down to the point where I was afraid to live there anymore, so I overdosed on Ambien. I'm not supposed to be here anymore. I took a 30 Ambiens, and yeah, they pushed me to that point. And it wasn't a matter of wanting to hurt myself or, you know, end my life or anything like that. It's just that I just needed to get away. I needed to get away, and I thought maybe I would be able to talk to a social worker or somebody at the hospital, but that didn't work in my favor because the hospital spoke to him first. Yep. I couldn't even tell you if my stomach was pumped that night or whatever, but I did it right in front of them, so it's like they didn't catch me. You know, it was done right in front of somebody, so, you know, hey, bros in paradise. So I did survive that, and but while I was in the hospital, the kid's dad went and filed for custody of Isabel behind my back and didn't have me served to come to court, so I lost custody on default at the time. Yeah, it's insane what's gone through. Yeah, so when I was living there, he went behind my back and went to court and filed for custody of her. Didn't have me served to come to court. This, and that, and so so I was still living there. And he and actually, I'll tell you the truth. After the overdose. After I overdosed, the kid that I was talking about earlier, who claimed that the kid's dad was cheating on me with, let me know, and I grabbed Isabel, got on the bus, and went to my mom's house and left. I left, and I went. He actually threatened to decapitate me and my parents with his machete. So I managed to go to the court and you know, file a restraining order and leave. I took Isabel and left, but then I stupidly took him back after that, because that's how domestic violence works, right? They always find a way to get you to come back. So, but like I said, he filed for custody of me, Isabel, and didn't have me served to come to court. So, and he found a way to have me he got me to have a severe panic and anxiety attack, had the cops show up and everything, and the cops told me I had to leave, and since I didn't have custody of Isabel anymore, yeah, I'm doing quite well, bros in paradise. This story has a happy ending somewhere, right? So that's what we're talking about, the happy ending. Not that I'm, you know, there's no boyfriend or anything like that, but that's okay, right? So, yeah, so we ended up doing that. He had me thrown out of the house by the police. he actually hid he hid my medication. Like I said earlier, I have PTSD and bipolar, so I have to. Actually, I kind of still kind of do Savage Poet. I do believe that there is love out there, but I kind of don't. I'm kind of afraid. Um, but I don't want to, I want to work on myself. That's what I want to do. I want to work on myself. So yeah, he hid my medication so I could have a panic anxiety attack, which, led to the police coming and having me removed. So yeah, so that's what happened with that. And, so yeah, so that happened, and I ended up having to move out. I lived with my parents. I had to only see Isabel on a court-ordered visitation schedule. So if you are still here into the bush, I totally understand you. Um, I totally understand anyone who's been through this, Well, we'll get there, Kim. We have a long road before we get there. So yeah, so I ended up moving out. Um, yeah, I ended up moving out, and I ended up moving into a housing agency just like what I'm in now, but it was for single people. Um, you know, um, yeah, so it was for single people, and that ended up being really horrible. Um, and so on and so forth. When I was, so here's the other, so we could talk about that. So when I moved out, I ended up moving into single housing. I had a roommate who was a 48-year-old Pentecostal virgin. Yes, she was a virgin, and she was very religious. And oh, okay. So yeah, so I moved in this with this woman, and um, what a disaster that was. I didn't know I was pregnant with Jacob at the time. I was not allowed to date after Isabel. This man said, the kid's dad said, if I date anyone else, he would take Isabel away. So he conned me into having another child, even though I was not living there anymore. So I did, and that hence Jacob. Yeah, but you know what? It's made me a stronger person. Yeah. Well, this woman claims she was a Christian, a born again Christian, but she was raised Jewish, so I don't think she really understood what she was, you know. I don't think she understood anything in her life or whatever, but okay, I'm not going to judge her on that end. But yes, so I moved into this housing program for handicapped people like I am now, but with, another woman. And I didn't know I was pregnant with Jacob until a month and a half into it. My housing agency then verbally abused me because of it. They were just horrible. Yeah, the roommate wasn't a good man. That's generally how it works in these housing agencies, that these roommates don't work. So the roommates in these housing agencies need to do a little better. So yeah, so I had this, I was in this housing agency. A month into me moving there, we had bed bugs and, you know, so on and so forth. The kid's dad was verbally abusing me even though I wasn't living with him anymore. He actually called the police on me when I was pregnant with Jacob, telling them I wanted to do another thing, and his friend threatened to beat me up in the car because of that. A whole bunch of stuff happened with the housing agency. They ended up, yeah, bed bugs are horrible. The housing agency ended up evicting me, throwing me out on the street 3 weeks before Jacob was born. So I actually ended up living in a homeless shelter 3 weeks before Jacob was born. And when Jacob was born, the hospital was supposed to call the Department of Social Services to have me placed into a women and children's shelter, but they refused. They decided to call Child Protective Service on me for whatever reason in their mind. They were thinking. So, that's what happened there. And Child Protective Services thought it would be better for me to go back to living with the kid's dad, who was abusive to me, than to go into a shelter. So I did go back to live with the kid's dad and his mom once again, and not by choice. We weren't together anymore. He had a boyfriend. He had a boyfriend at the time, which led to me having to leave because no, that just wasn't working out. It was so bad that CPS said I had to leave or they were going to remove Jacob. So at least they were on my side somewhere, you know. So I ended up moving out, and my grandmother was in the hospital, but she said I could go live over there. In the meantime, so I did, and then I got a call to move into this housing agency. So it was just me and Jacob for a while, and we moved into family housing where we had a 2-bedroom apartment. But I paid rent. There's no freebies here. So yeah, so that's that. So before I moved into that apartment, I got approved to go to community college. I originally planned on going into the human services program and becoming a social worker, but halfway through my college time, I just realized that that was not for me. I didn't want to make money off my friends. That's how I looked at it. And social work is, don't want to do it. So the kid's dad, he was filing, ridiculousness in the courts too, and calling Child Protective Services every so often to report me. And he went so far. He had a boyfriend that was going to the same college as me, so he went so far as to have this boyfriend tell the dean of the college that I called him the F word, which is a word that is not in my vocabulary, and I was removed from college based on that. So I did not finish college. Not that I need it, for what it is I want to do, so I'm not hurt or upset or disappointed. But this man, he was harassing me and finding every which way to harass me, and so he did. Like I said, he called Child Protective Services. There was one point he actually went ahead and made a verbal threat over the phone. He said that if me and my parents were to withhold his children from him, that he was going to, hey, cook with Malika. Welcome to the live. Don't forget to smash that like. Yeah, so he went so far as to make a threat saying that he was going to, if me and my parents were to withhold his children from him, that he was going to come to my apartment with his bodyguard, because apparently he had a bodyguard at the time, and he was going to put 2 rounds in me and my parents and take my children and leave. Of course, I've gone to the police prior to this, and they were not willing to help me. But he had called Child Protective Services 2 days after this threat, and Child Protective Services said, well, then you need to go to the police department itself and file charges. Hey, Sandy. So I did that. I went to the police department. I filed charges with the district court, and they, issued me a full-blown Fort Knox restraining order, which is exactly what a restraining order is a piece of paper. So what he did in spite of that is he went to the family court. He went over to family court and filed a restraining order against me for the children with a whole bunch of lies, things that didn't even make sense. The judge didn't even read what his allegations were. So he did that, and I couldn't see my children for a month and a half. I didn't have custody of Isabel just yet, but that comes after this. So I didn't have custody of Isabel just yet, but he took both kids and filed a restraining order, and I couldn't see them for over a month and a half. This is where I had ended up having to hire an attorney, where I had to pay because legal aid said, well, you two can't go tit for tat anymore. So here in New York, here on Long Island, the way that the court system works is if you file charges for domestic violence, it doesn't matter in the family court setting, because family court supersedes district court. So if you're filing, these kinds of charges against your ex-husband and whatnot, we weren't married, so, your ex or whoever else, it doesn't matter. That father could still have rights to those children. You're just going to have to find some way to exchange the children. Yeah. My family and I have spent over $25,000 to fix what legal aid screwed up. So we went through that. I did end up getting the kids back, of course, because they live here, obviously. But again, so what happens is he ended up having a photo of Isabel in the bed with a boyfriend of his. They both had clothes on, but it didn't look right. So my lawyer gave his lawyer an option, we take this to trial and this looks ugly, or you give her the children back, and so on and so forth. So yes, I got both. I got custody of both kids in my home. Um, but it didn't stop there, of course. It didn't stop there. He ended up, continuing with the calling of Child Protective Services all the time. Um, it just didn't stop. Every week there would be a new phone call. From May to August of 2012, I had 20 different CPS calls, which he admitted to. Hi, Levine Vlogs. He admitted to making all these phone calls later on. And so, yeah, after 2012, yeah, it is messed up. It definitely is. Exactly. It's messed up for men and for women, for sure. It's not just a women thing, it's just a men thing. It's just a messed up system. Um, on January 1st of 2013, I went on a date with a man that I had found on OkCupid. He lived in Merrick, New York. Now the kid's dad is from Baldwin, New York, and that's like a couple. They're right next to each other. And the kid's dad does have friends in Merrick as well as Baldwin. I didn't think of this at first. I didn't think of it as a bad thing. The guy sounded really nice, um, but he wasn't. Um, a month into this so-called relationship, which I'm not going to call a relationship because I don't think of it that way. Oh, it came just in time for the hitman story, Jamie. um, exactly, Kin. You're right. And that's my biggest argument with Child Protective Services. It's my biggest argument with them because they allowed my kid's dad to make these phone calls, They allowed him to do that. Yep, I'm writing one though, Jamie. I actually had the Vibes Advocate tell me my life is a Lifetime movie. Maybe. I'll take it. So this man, I found him on OkCupid. Yeah. Hopefully it has a good ending at some point, like Charlie Hunnam as my husband or something. I don't know. So I found this guy online. Yep, exactly. Got to make lemonade out of this for sure. So this man, I found him on OkCupid. He lived in a town. Well, my kid's dad lives in Bayshore, but he did grow up in Baldwin. So a month into this relationship, I noticed that things changed because his Facebook said he was in a relationship with another woman. Her name was Jennifer. His name is Ed, or so he claims. I don't know. I said, what gives? He claimed that his Facebook page was hijacked and broken into. This man started to interfere with my friends too. He didn't like one of my friends, who I'm not friends with anymore anyways, because she's, a douche canoe. But hi, Rena. So this man, so I questioned that, and he just said his Facebook was hijacked, and I guess because I was so lonely, I believed it at first, yeah. For this guy's birthday, I decided to take him to one of those, cheap, dirty hotels over here on Long Island, and I paid for it. And in the middle of the night, he actually stole all the money. He must have drugged me. This man must have drugged. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. You know what? I was just so naive at the time. I was so down from being lonely that this person came along. I guess that's what happened. So this person most likely slipped GHB into a drink, and he stole all the money out of my wallet, and I couldn't go home, so I had to call my mom at 2. I woke up around 2 o'clock in the morning, and she was not happy about this whole thing. Of course, she did not like this person. And I didn't hear from him again for like 2 weeks, and he claimed that he didn't do those things, that somebody must have broken into the room and took it all, blah, blah, blah. He also claimed my kid's dad tried to kill him. I don't think so, but whatever. But I decided to keep this person close because something just didn't seem right. This guy kept going in and out. I stupidly allowed this person to take me to Atlantic City too, which I'm glad I didn't get killed, But this girlfriend of his, the one that was said on Facebook to not be his girlfriend, said in a text message that he was hired to finish what the kid's dad started, which means he was hired as a hitman. She said, she admitted it. And I did go to the police. I did go to the police. I took I showed the police the text messages, and they refused to do anything about it. They flat out refused to do anything about it. In normal world, if normal world exists, you would think that the police would take both parties in, or all parties involved, and interview them. But they didn't. They didn't do that. They didn't do any of that. But, after that admission, and the police did show up that night, so maybe that man was still around and saw the police and saw I wasn't playing around. So he did disappear for 6 months, and he wanted to come back, and I said, no, absolutely not. And now the building I lived in at that time, you needed a key to get into the building, but some idiot, or douche canoe as we'll call him, who believed he was Harry Potter, left the door open downstairs, and I opened the door because someone knocked on the door, and I opened it because I truly believed that it was like, a social worker or somebody opening the, coming into the building to talk to me, or maybe the mailman, because like I said, you needed a key to get into the building. So I opened the door, and it was this man, Edward Holmes is his name. And I tell you what, he's still on OkCupid, probably scamming other women and stealing money and whatnot. And he raped me in my own home. And that was 5 years ago this March 18th. I was actually in the process of getting my weight loss surgery then. I decided to try to work on it. I ended up not getting my weight loss surgery because I found out I was pregnant at 27 weeks, because I was under the care of weight loss people and getting tests and such. So I didn't know. And so, at 27 weeks, you can't have an abortion, and at that rate, it's too late. And this little girl was meant to be here for somebody, so I ended up placing her up for adoption, which is like the hardest thing anyone can do. I hate when there's stigma towards people. Aw, well, hugs. So I am pro-life at this point. I am. I've always been pro-life, but things happen in life, and I don't know. But yeah. So this little girl ended up she ended up winning the lottery on parents, because the mother is a special ed teacher, and the dad is he's in Homeland Security, so she's safe. I don't think this guy, she is where she belongs. She's where she belongs. It is, I guess, like, Jamie said, we have to make lemonade out of lemons, and so I did that. But, yeah, she's very cute. I don't think I could have raised her, because no, I don't have direct contact. I didn't want that. No, she's only 4.5 now. I didn't want that. My kids don't know she exists. However, shortly after this little girl was born, her name is Jillian. I did not give her the name, but she looks like a Jillian to me anyways. But shortly after she was born and placed, the kid's dad called CPS, and what happens is the hospital put her on my Medicaid case, which they weren't supposed to, but they did. And so CPS said that they had to ask where she was, simply because of the fact that they were afraid that I buried her in my backyard. No kidding. And they asked about this little girl in front of Isabel, who was, 5, 6 years old at the time, who didn't know anything. And I said, well, you weren't, and the worker goes, oops, sorry. Like, who's sorry? Yeah, really sorry? You're sorry? Yeah, you're not really sorry. This is the person who told me I had to let her in, or else. CPS actually told me. She actually turned around and says, I better let her in, or else. CPS, I know all about you, because I was in a human services program. I actually have far more training in social work than this douche canoe does. But so that's that on that end. Actually, when Jacob had his baptism in January, the person who was hired as a hitman actually contacted me through Facebook Messenger, and has a different name. He's going by a different name on social media, and he actually has a new girlfriend, and guess what her name is? Kelly. It's not me. That's not me. Nope. So yeah, that's just a little creepy, if you ask me. Um, so that's why dating is kind of difficult for me. And I explained to this therapist. Yeah, exactly. Yep, I got my sonnies, and who knows? Maybe Charlie Hunnam is good karma for all this garbage. Um, because the girlfriend he has, I don't really care for. Um, I think she's kind of trashy if you ask me, but whatever. Not trashy as in like the way she is, not as in the way she looks. I never attack people for their looks. I think she's a pretty girl on the outside, but whatever. Yeah. Charlie. Oh, yeah. I definitely do need some more tattoos, but I'm afraid to do that too because I have to check to see what's going on with my weight loss. But yeah, so that's a big thing. I am afraid. Oh, and here's another thing. Somebody I went to high school with just admitted recently that they were present. They were at a bar with the kid's dad and this person who was hired as a hitman when he was hired as a hitman and is refusing to go to the police. And I understand that the incident happened 5 years ago, but you could still go to the police and tell them that you know this information, and maybe they'll be willing to do something about it. Now, I have another friend that I'm not speaking to at the moment because he doesn't understand why I'm so angry about it. So, so this is why I don't hang out with people around here anymore, and I don't date. Yeah. This is why I'm so afraid to hang out with people around here because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Have you been hired as a hitman? Am I gonna? I mean, I don't think I could go on a date with anybody here. Um, it's scary to think that somebody else could be, you know, and who knows? Maybe other men that I went on a date before that was hired too. I don't know. It's possible. The kid's dad did say that he wished I were dead so he could have the children to himself. So, aw, thanks, Jamie. Um, so I don't know. I feel like in order for me to date, I have to move out of New York. I feel like I just have to just get away from here, but it's not that simple. This is how they have things here. In order for me to move out of New York, or even, I can't even move more than 27 miles of where I am now. In order for me to move, I have to apply to the courts and have a decent reason to move. No kidding. I'm not kidding. So I can't just move from here. So I actually literally have to have, yeah, yep, that's how the courts are. Like I said, now I have sole custody of my kids. He actually admitted in a court of law all those CPS phone calls. He admitted that he made all those phone calls, and he also admitted that he takes hydrocodone 4 times a day, plus muscle relaxers and sleeping pills, and he drives with the kids in the car. Now, I don't believe he drives at all, because I just don't, but he admits that he takes all these drugs, and I just don't know how he could be taking care of the kids in that house. But again, his mom's there. Me and her have patched things over. I have to be honest, we have patched things over. There was one time, though, she did put poison in food and got away with it because of the overdose. I was afraid to go to the hospital and tell them this because I overdosed. And every time I go to the emergency room, they always bring up the overdose. Yep. When I broke my arm last winter, they actually said they would not give me any pain meds. Not that I was looking for any, but they said they would not give me any pain meds because they didn't want to be held accountable for me having an issue. Like, I'm not... Thanks, Sandy. I want to share these things because I know that there was a woman in my live last Saturday or a couple Saturdays ago who had just left a relationship, and I want to be able to help other people. Yeah, yeah, they're definitely pieces of work. I mean, I must say, like I said, things are better now, but I don't forgive them. Right. But I've never had a broken bone a day in my life, right? Now, my kid's dad, he sure has ways of getting painkillers. Let me tell you something. One time, just before I was thrown out of that house, and they claim that I wasn't thrown out, that I left on my own, that I could have come back, and that's not exactly it at all. I was thrown out. By the way, the kid's grandma doesn't believe the kid's dad actually made all those CPS phone calls either, but whatever. I'm not going to argue with her anymore. It's just not worth my time. Yeah. But yeah, but I never, yeah, probably. That's probably it. But I don't take painkillers. It's not my thing. I don't want them. I don't need them. And it was only one, oh yeah, oh no, there was a couple other times, but that was, around the same time. Um, but the kid's dad clearly has an addiction problem, but they always find a way to give it to him. I'm not addicted to drugs, though. I don't like it. I only did it because I needed to get away from my kid's dad, and I expressed that very clearly to everybody in the hospital. Um, but, it is what it is. But he finds a way to get him. This guy called 911 because he was constipated because of his painkillers. He was constipated and called 911. I kid you not. And had to have an enema in the emergency room around all the other people. Let me tell you something. Every time I go to that hospital, I joke around about it. um, Whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad that me and the kid's grandma are doing a little better. Like I said, she's not forgiven. She is not forgiven, but we're like being nice for the kids at this point because this is the way it should have been from the very beginning, is that we should be nice for the kids, but they don't believe in that over there. She had a woman call me and threaten me too. She gave out my phone number. That's a big thing for me. I don't like it when people like give out my phone number or my address. And she used to bring people in her car, and she never understood why I got angry. She did it on purpose to get me to flip out and film me to do it or have witnesses. She even went so far as to pay another tenant in my building to tell stories about me. Now, the ladies upstairs have been quite chummy with her, but like I said, things are better now and there's nothing to tell. There's absolutely no stories to tell. I must say, I really love that Paris Hilton cleanser. My face feels so nice. So yeah, but dating for me, I do want to date. It's not like I do and I don't. I do and I don't, but like I told this woman, like, I need to establish myself. I stupidly had children at a young age. And don't get me wrong, I love Isabel to pieces. She's, a very good kid, and Jacob too. I love my kids, but I sacrificed so much of my life. I was thrown out of college for this man. Thrown out of college. So, for me, I feel like I need to work on myself, and I do want to work on, I don't think even at 33 I'm too old to become, a Hollywood actress or anything at all, because it's like I said, you dream big or don't bother dreaming at all. So that's the way I look at it, and I'm not going to give up. I'm not giving up on writing my book. I'm not giving up on anything. But I feel like if I were to, date somebody now, that would like be a distraction to me. I do tell myself it's Charlie Hunnam or nothing, but people say, well, you tell yourself that, that's exactly what you're going to get is nothing. Well, so be it. So be it. I'm okay with that too. But I don't want to be alone forever. But, I've been good for the last 2 years, like I said, because I got Frankie 2 years ago. She is my registered and trained service dog. I take her everywhere because I do have really bad agoraphobia. But that's also, yeah, no, I'm not going to give up. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And Charlie's 38. Now, there's actually a video here on YouTube of a celebrity palm reader, and they said he's going to find his real love in the second half of his life. He's only 38, so he's not in the second half of his life yet, so maybe it's possible. Hey, listen, you never know. Yeah, I just want to work on myself. I have my kids to worry about. Dating as a single mom is scary because you don't know who's out there and who's going to be bad to your kids. So, yeah. But I feel like I needed to get that off because I just didn't understand this therapist asking this question, and it made me feel really bad. But, so, yeah. So, anyways, Jamie's going to go live tonight at 7. Anyone else who's going to go live today? Yes, actually, yeah, I agree with you, Savage Poet. Yep. Yep, pedos, and actually people who want wham bam thank you ma'ams do too. They think that single moms are, easy meat, fresh meat, easy to, right. Oh, wow, that's pretty good, Sandy. Yep. Yeah, I kind of wish you know what it is? I was bullied severely as a kid, severely bullied. And when I was in high school, I didn't date anybody. Nobody wanted to date me then because I was, overweight, and, nobody really liked that. I was thought of as cute, but, not, So I settled with the kid's dad because he was there, and I felt like I needed, you know, that and so on and so forth. But now I'm not going to settle anymore because I need to work on myself. And, you know, if that means my agoraphobia not allowing me to go out in public to not meet somebody, that's fine. My mom's funny about this. She says, you know, maybe you'll meet somebody at your weight loss surgery support group. I don't know about that. But anyways, hi AJ. Oops. So with that said, I am going to end the live here because it's been a very long story time. But Jamie is going to go live at 7. I do believe other people will be going live tonight. So I'm going to end the live here so I can cook my dinner so I can be a part of the lives. Oh, thanks. Thanks, AJ. I was going to end the live anyways because it's been a long one so far. 75 minutes, not too bad. I do like that. I will be going live again tomorrow at 7 p.m., Monday at 5, and Tuesday at 7. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad I did. It felt like I needed to. But I think this is good to share on YouTube because we need to build our community stronger. And I think if you know people a little more and understand them better, it makes their channel stronger. It makes this community stronger. And we can help other people better too. So anyways, I'm going to go make a